Take a couple of your seconds to look at these pictures. What was the first thing that popped into your head when you saw these images? Was it the name of a person? Maybe a friend, a cousin, a neighbor? Maybe even your mom and dad? Maybe you thought, that was me last night. You thought this represented you. You know, in our nation, there's an average of over 5,000 suicide attempts from people in the grades of 7 through 12. Suicide is the third leading cause of death. More teenagers die from suicide than they do from cancer, heart disease, AIDS, and a lot of other different kinds of diseases together combined. Now, even though drinking is illegal for those under the age of 21, 11% of all the alcohol consumed in the USA is from people that are in junior high or even high school. Nearly 1.5 million high school students experience abuse from their intimate partner. 24 people per minute are victims of rape, physical violence, and even stalking. Now, these are only a few of the things that many people in our community are facing, mostly teenagers. Who's there for these kids? Who's there to tell them it's gonna be okay? Who's there guiding them and giving them advice when their parents can't be there for them? Is suicide, alcohol, abuse, depression? Is this the last resort? My name is Jade Sosa, and these are the questions that I was struggling with crossing the bridge, Safe Haven Elementary, to the dungeons of my middle school hallways. It was in my 6th grade year that I was struggling with these questions. Having friends going through difficult times was very hard on me. Instead of having conversations on what our homeworks were, we were talking more about how they had to go home and survive with their alcoholic and abusive parents. Instead of laughing and having fun during lunch, they were talking about why they were cutting themselves the night before. I couldn't stop thinking about this day in and day out on why they had to go through this. I couldn't stay quiet. I wanted to do something. Now, not everyone had it bad. Don't get me wrong. There were those who were self-motivated and they could keep going on their own. But what about those who needed that inspiration, needed that extra push, that role model in their life? I feel strongly that God has given everyone a God-given talent, a purpose. To me, all kids and all teenagers need to know that them too can make a difference in their own community, can be big or small. I felt like I had a really strong connection with my parents, so I vocalized my concerns and I opened my thoughts to them. I said, Mom, Dad, I want to be part of a solution. I want to be the reason why these students get help. I want them to be recognized and noticed for all the things that they're capable of doing. If only I could just do something. You know, I want them to know that their ideas and their opinions, they matter, that they have a voice, that they can feel the same support that I have from my own parents. And I felt like God was tugging at my heart to do something. That year, the doors were open for me to attend a leadership conference at Harvard University. This summit gave me an assignment to create a solution for my community. Just what I thought, this could help me do something. I attended a city council meeting, I did some research, and I was even able to interview some people from my community. I talked to the city mayor, the chief of police, the fire department. I also presented my idea to the sorority group in UTRGV. I presented to them my passion and my thirst to want to help people in my community. My idea to have leaders come to our schools and guide them and create this bond with their mentor. After presenting my idea in Boston, I was a witness to people across the country, across the world, talk about how their next step was going to be in helping their own community. My friend Phelan from New Jersey, she was going to get kids that were from New Jersey and New York that had lost a loved one from the 9/11, like herself, who had lost, unfortunately, her dad. My best friend Olivia from Pennsylvania was going to collect shoes, shirts, different kinds of clothes, and she was going to distribute them from neighborhoods that were living in poverty. My 7th grade year, though, was harder than I thought. I faced many challenges, and a group of my friends had moved over the summer, and a lot had changed when I had got back. That meant that I had to start all over again. Not only did I have few friends, but even though I did try out for volleyball, basketball, and different sports, we worked hard as a team, but we weren't getting the results that we wanted. I was struggling and I was bummed. Not only did I have few friends and all this, but I was just 12 years old, and the idea of starting a program felt like it wasn't even there. It was unreachable. This was like a stairway to me, and every time I thought I was getting closer, there seemed to appear another step. I felt like things weren't going as planned. Surprisingly, towards the end of the year, I was selected by my school to be the ambassador because our district had been selected also by the HEB Excellence in Education Award, and if we'd win, we'd obtain $50,000. It was during a luncheon where I got to sit next to a judge. He was also from Harvard, but I didn't know. And that's where God had put everything into place. It was through a friendly conversation with him that I was able to talk to him about my idea. And he thought it was great, actually. And he told everyone to be quiet and to listen to me. And they gave me their full attention for a couple of seconds as I told them my vision about Project 2.0. That summer, I found out that our district had won after principals, school board members, and parents were present during that time. This was an amazing accomplishment, and regained my confidence to continue the next year and do something. I'm so happy to announce that this year in 8th grade, Project 2.0 is on its full effect. Community leaders meet with students after school and discuss critical topics through a series of activities, one-on-one, Q&A, and a large group setting. The goal of this program is for teens to get informed and build healthy relationships. Mentors encourage kids to invest in their future and make better choices no matter what the circumstances, to be independent people and always envisioning themselves exceeding over any stumbling blocks. Even though the reaping is not immediately, I truly trust that mentoring is worth the devoted time by each and every adult. Now, what do you think is the first thing that pops into people's heads when they come to the Rio Grande Valley for the very first time? Is it our beach, South Padre Island? Is it our colleges and universities? Or is it the border wall? I encourage every single person in this room today not to waste another minute. Make a change, do something. Everyone has been handpicked by God and given a strength, a skill, a purpose. Use your aptitude and your passion to change the community today. The difference between who you are and what you want to be in the Rio Grande Valley is what we do now. Thank you.